I don't know.
And what's emotional about you?
I don't have a good answer.
You don't? You doing the silent prayer stuff? So you don't know why you're so emotional?
I'm like crying right now.
You feel emotional now?
Okay.
You about to cry now? About what?
I have no idea.
Are you crying about what you're thinking about or what we were talking about? About
It's just like feeling.
it's like what?
It's a feeling.
What kind of feeling? Like what? What does it feel like?
We're going to start in about 30 seconds.
All right.
Can I go to the bathroom? Just get.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, yeah.
It's Wednesday.
That's all I wanted to do.
Who it belongs to?
Figured.
And there were some shocking things. Did you know that? Shocking things. Welcome to church. I am Jesse Peterson. Thank you for being with me. You can get involved by going to our chat line on YouTube. And James will get to your questions and comments. Good morning, everybody, again.
Good morning.
All right. I'm ready. Happy Spring Forward Day. Right? I like long days. Now the days will be long, the nights will be short. I like long sunlight days. I don't like it when it get dark at 5. You know what I'm saying? Any questions or anything about anything, any comments, anything on your mind? Because we came to fellowship, not to be taught. Anybody have anything? Yes, sir.
So there's more people at the men's meeting than more people at the men's
Is that what you
meeting.
raised your hand to say?
Sure
That's amazing. Okay, take the mic back. I can't believe you raised your hand to say that. Yes, sir. I saw a hand right here, right? We had an amazing men's meeting this past Thursday night. 47 guys showed up. It was amazing. Thank you guys for coming. Go ahead.
So I was talking about it for the last couple of weeks, but I was too scared to do it. I finally talked to my mom this morning before I came here.
Oh, you did?
I did, and I forgave her.
So what happened?
She understood, actually. Yeah, she said she understood because I'd been angry at her growing up, and angry at her over the past few years. And
right on.
So I told her, I forgive you for all those things I was angry at you for. And yeah, it was good.
Oh, good, man. So you faced her or you did it on the phone?
No, I faced her.
Right on.
Went to her house.
Oh, you did?
At my old home, the house I moved out of, and I faced her, and it wasn't so bad.
Yeah. What did your father think about the meeting last week?
Oh, he liked it. He has a lot of disagreements with you, because he's an evil liberal. But I told him he should come this week too.
Yeah.
So he's supposed to be here, but we'll
Today?
see. Yeah, we'll see if he shows up.
Right on. Well, I'm glad you did that.
Yeah.
Now you're on your way.
I am.
Right on, man. How old are you?
21.
Right on. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Really is. Any other thing?
No,
Okay.
I just wanted to share that because it was a couple weeks in the making now. So.
Right on, man. I'm glad you finally did it.
Yeah.
Anybody else? So I have a question for this young lady if no one else has anything. So if a young girl is a prostitute and a grown adult man go out and pay for her, buy her to have sex with her, who is the victim? Uh-huh. If a young girl is a prostitute and a grown guy go out and buy the prostitute, who's the victim? Well, I'm surprised you're pondering it.
Yeah. They're both like victims, I would say.
I'm sorry?
They're both. I mean, him for doing
I
the
can't hear you.
testing. Can you hear me?
Yeah, speak just a little
Oh,
louder.
okay, sorry.
Are you nervous about the question?
No, I mean, when you're expecting to be the victim by prostituting yourself like that, I mean, it's your choice. It's a woman's choice, or the young girl. But tempting the man, tempting the man to do that evil act. So it's not. I don't think it's the man's being the victim either. I don't think either one, because they're expecting the girl is expecting to be victimized.
Who is
So
the
either-
victimizer?
Neither one.
So nobody guilty of anything? Oh, amazing. Don't let the NOW organization hear you say that. The National Organization of Women Who Hate Men. So you say no one, the adult man, nor the young girl,
No.
is the victimizer or the victim.
No.
Amazing. What do you say?
I would say the same thing. That's what I was thinking, like, who's the victim? I don't think either of them are the victim.
And why not?
Because they're both, she's offering and he's taking.
But he's an adult man over 21,
Oh, and she's what?
a teenager.
I still don't think either of them are victims.
I'm sorry?
I don't think she's the victim
Why not?
because she's consenting.
She's what?
She's consenting.
Consented. Oh, okay.
She's
Amazing.
agreeing. I think a victim is.
But the man is a man, a grown man.
Yeah.
Shouldn't he know better?
I mean, yeah.
Should he go online and order a female, a teenage offline?
Did you say shouldn't he or should he?
I mean, will he be a victimizer or a victim, or will she be?
I mean, it's disgusting, but I don't think that
It's
makes her.
disgusting?
Yeah. But I don't think that makes her a victim.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Amazing. What do you think?
Really? Okay.
I'm sorry. So if a teenage girl, either online, stand on a street corner, or wherever, is a prostitute, and an adult male order her online or pick up on the street, who is the victim or the victimizer?
Such a loaded question, Jesse.
Loaded?
Yeah.
In what way?
Well, because for me, when I first was thinking about it, I thought, okay, maybe it's the teenager, but then what led the teenager to get to that point?
Right.
And what's that individual's background? And then what led the man to get to that point? I think both are wrong. The man shouldn't. The teenage girl shouldn't. Hopefully she would know better, but maybe she doesn't know better. So that's where I'm. First instinct, I thought the man was wrong.
Should the man lose his life if he is caught? Should he go to jail? Should he be called a rapist or whatever they call him?
It's just, I don't know how to answer that, because I don't think he should, but I don't think she's in the clear either, because she's out there, she knows what she's doing, well, from the context of the question. So it's a little...
So you don't think the guy should go to jail or lose his career and all that crap?
I know, I was like, I make that noise because it's just so uncertain. I mean, both are, what's the word I'm looking for? Both are willing participants in the act. So who's to say both of them are in the wrong, but who's more in the wrong? I couldn't tell you. I think they're both wrong. And
Ooh, more, you can't be more.
I know, that's why they're both in the
they're
wrong. That's why I feel like they're both.
Have you ever wondered about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you say? If a teenage girl is either online or on the street prostituting, adult man order it online or pick up on the street, who is the victim and who is the victimizer?
Well, I think if it's illegal, then the man really, if he knows that it's illegal to solicit prostitution or whatever, I think that he should pay whatever consequence for doing something illegally. And I think that we cannot just jump to a conclusion, and we cannot assume that she's not being forced to do so. What if she's being forced to prostitute herself?
And
So she
who
herself
is
can
the
be a victim.
And who is the victimizer?
I kind of think that the 13-year-old or the underage girl can be a victim.
So she's the victim.
On some level, yeah.
Are you
I
afraid to
believe
answer
so.
that? You're not going to jail.
No, I'm not afraid to answer it.
So you think the girl is the victim?
I think that she can be if she's forced to do something like that.
And why do you say she can be? She's not forced, she's selling it.
She's selling it.
She's on the line selling it. She's on the street selling it. The buyers come by and get it. It's on sale.
Yeah. She's still underage, and the man is supposed to know better, do better, you know. And I mean, it could be a woman too that's 21 or, you know, of age, looking for a young girl. I mean, it could be either a male or a female.
So who is the victim?
I still,
I want your answers on it. It's not a contest, right? This is a fellowship. All right, so we're just examining. I didn't get it. Come back. She done gave the mic away. So who is the victim and who is the victimizer?
I still think that the young girl's the victim.
You do?
Yeah.
And why?
Because I think for a young girl to go into selling her body,
Right.
there's something behind it. It's not that clear cut, like, oh, I'm 13, I think, or 40, whatever her
Right.
age is.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go sell my body. You know, I don't think that's typical of a young lady to want to do something like that.
So who is the victim and who is the victimizer?
I think the young girl's the victim.
You do?
Yes.
Should the guy be punished for buying it?
If it's illegal, yes.
But if it's not, he should not be? Because in some places it's not illegal.
I think if she's underage and he or she who's searching for it, yes, they should be punished if they're,
Even
they
if it's
should know
not
better.
illegal, he should be punished?
I mean, if it's illegal to be with a young person.
How about if it's not illegal?
If it's not illegal to be with a 13-year-old,
Yeah, teenager.
then no, he should be punished.
Oh, okay. And so you think the girl is the victim and the guy's the victimizer?
Yes.
Okay. Cheryl, what do you say at the end here? If a teenage girl is online or on the corner selling her body and an adult man go and purchase it, who is the victim and the victimizer?
The teenage girl is the victim, and
Why do you say that?
because she's a teenager,
And the guy is what?
he's the victimizer. I mean,
And-
if it wasn't a market for it, she couldn't sell it.
If it wasn't a market for it?
If people didn't want it, she couldn't sell it.
But then
So,
she did.
What I mean is, she could say, hey, you know, I'm selling my body, but if it would be nice if a man said, you know what, you don't want to do that. Why are you doing that?
But it's for
Is there something
sale.
wrong?
It's a product.
Sex is not a product.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Oh,
It's between a man and a wife. It's not to
no,
be
a
sold.
prostitute, not the wife.
Well, no, it's not. They sell it, but it doesn't make it right.
And so it's not a product?
No.
Why they have different colors?
I could
They
say
have
something,
skinny
but it would be
ones and
gross.
fat ones and soft ones and hard ones.
When
and-
you, everybody's the same down there, so it's.
Oh,
it's all
so
the
you
same
say the
color.
girl is the victim?
Yes.
And the guy's the victimizer?
Yes.
And why?
Because she's young and she doesn't know any better. That's why kids have parents.
She doesn't know it better?
She She doesn't, not really.
She doesn't know she's selling her body online or on the
She
street
does,
corner?
but she doesn't know all the ramifications of what she's doing. Like, at 13, I thought differently than I do now. She's
Okay.
young, she doesn't know everything.
Amazing.
So she doesn't, I mean, she'll look back at that and be mortified, guilty,
Yeah.
sorry. It's gonna take her down a rabbit hole doing all that stuff.
And how about the guy, will he look back and feel the same way too?
He may or may not. Hopefully he will.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not
Amazing.
right for
Let me
people
ask this young lady then here, then here. If a teenage girl is selling her body online or on the street, an adult male over 18 go and purchase it, who is the victim? Who is the victimizer?
I agree with Cheryl. I think the young lady is the victim and the man's the victimizer.
And why do you think that?
I think exactly the same thing you said is that she doesn't know any better, and there's probably reasons why she's doing it, but she hasn't.
doesn't know any better than to sell her body? Don't you have to think about that?
Yeah, but
You're
I
like,
think
I'm going out today and sell my body. I'm going to put on perfume or shower. I'm going out to 56th Street. I'm going to stand on the north side of the street where the cars are coming down. They can get me right there. It takes some thought to do that, right?
You know, the way I can think of this is when I reflect on my own self at 14 or whatever,
Right.
and the things that I did. I did some pretty bad things at 14, and it's not like I couldn't help myself, I guess, because, you know, your life kind of leads you down this path, and you just end up doing some stuff that doesn't seem, you know, right.
Right.
So, yeah.
And so the girl is the victim, being victimized by the guy.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
And should he go to jail?
I think grown men need to leave young ladies alone. So then, yeah, I would say, yeah. A grown man shouldn't be with a 15, 14-year-old. I think they need to leave them alone and allow them to grow and allow them to be women.
And should he go to jail?
Yeah.
His name put on the internet, send out a notice that this man is now living in your community.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You should?
Maybe, yeah.
Okay. Are you still feeling emotional?
Oh.
Why were you feeling emotional a few minutes ago?
I honestly, I was thinking about it. I probably know, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
You don't know why you're so emotional?
I don't know why.
Are you emotional all during the weekdays too?
No, just at certain times. I think today I don't know why I was,
How you and your son doing? Getting along?
It's okay.
It's okay?
Yeah.
But not the way you want it to be?
No.
How do you want it to be?
Sorry. I'd like it to be just
If those chairs are too close up, you guys can push them back a little bit. Look like they might be a little close.
yeah. Oh gosh. I'd like it to be, I just would like to be able to, I don't know how to say it without it sounding weird, but I just want to have an interaction with them where it doesn't feel so. It doesn't feel so much anger.
Do you feel the anger or is he feeling it? Or both?
I think, gosh, so hard for me to talk. I can't talk.
You can't what?
I can't really talk. I feel like every time I talk,
Just
I'm
let it out,
crying.
no problem, yeah.
Yeah? Oh,
Yeah, no
gosh.
problem. Yeah. Let things happen.
Okay. Well, it's tough to, it's not tough. It's just, I look at my son and he's always so angry and there's so much opportunity in front of him. And he doesn't want to take it.
How old is he?
13.
Oh.
I see a lot of, opportunity, and just because he's so angry, he doesn't want to. Sorry.
That's all right.
He doesn't want to enjoy life. He enjoys life, but maybe he does. I don't know. But when I see when he's around me, he's so angry.
And are you angry when he's angry?
I don't know. I think I am. Probably I am unconsciously. You know.
Are you angry when he's angry?
At times I am, and at times I'm not. Like, not all the time. Sometimes I look at it and I'm able to separate myself from it and be like, oh, it's just he's going through that. But then,
And there are times when you're angry along with him?
yeah.
And how's that going to help the situation?
Well, I mean, I'm not, when you say angry, I mean, I'm not acting out. I don't know if I'm angry. I just feel sad. I don't know if anger is sadness. I just feel sad
You feel sad about what?
about when he gets angry.
Why do you feel sad about it?
Because, like, when my brother came in town, you know, he was so angry. He didn't want to talk to anybody. He just wanted to be left alone. And it was like, you know, my brother's a fun guy. He's, like, really fun to be around. And, you know, he likes to joke around. And he's, like, shuts himself down. Doesn't want to talk to anybody.
All right.
And it's just like, you could have had fun with my, could have had fun with my brother. You know, and he didn't want to. And then if I'm like, hey, let's go do something, he doesn't want to do it. And it's just, you know, I don't know.
Why don't you send him to live with his father? He's 13.
There's no issue there. How can I say this? Yes, I've said that. And two reasons why he hasn't done that is, one, his father doesn't have a place to, you know, doesn't have his situation sorted out. And then two, my son doesn't want to go.
He doesn't want to go live with the father. Why not?
Because he wants to stay because his friends, because of school, and because of the skate park that is by the house is where he likes to go.
Oh. And so, but he like hating you? He like being angry at you?
Yes.
He does like
Yeah.
it?
He
Oh.
does. Well, I mean, that's what he tells me. He's like,
I like being mad at you.
Yeah.
Oh. Does he curse at you too?
We've gotten over that. He was in the beginning cursing at me and stuff.
He call you the B word and all that?
No, he's never like cursed like at me, like say, hey, you. No, he just says bad words, and I've asked him to stop, and he stopped.
And so why don't you have his father come and talk to him then and tell him he better cut it out? Find out what's happening.
I did.
And what happened?
I've done that.
Did that help?
No, I don't know. I mean, I don't think so. Obviously not, because he's still angry all the time with me.
Because at 13, you're losing him now.
Yeah, that's why I cry, because I feel like, I don't know, I see. Okay, when I was his age, I had a lot of anger too. And I did a lot of bad things in my life because I was angry.
Hold the mic up on me.
I'm sorry. I was angry, and I missed out on so many good things. And just like you were talking about the girl, you know, and the adult man,
Right.
like, as a result of my anger, I put myself in situations like that, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, I didn't realize it when I was 14. I didn't realize, like, you know, that I was putting myself in that situation. I
It
didn't
was so
realize.
much fun, huh?
Huh?
It was so much fun.
Yeah, maybe, you know.
No, okay.
But I mean, I didn't really. I just see that for my son. I'm like, man, I see his anger, and I see how he just shuts down all these opportunities in his life, and you know, just opportunity to learn and to do stuff, to be curious. You know, being curious is a good thing, and you know, he doesn't want to be curious. He doesn't want to have it. You know, he just wants to be in his world, and I feel like, you know, he's at this age where now he's going into high school, and the influences that he could get there, you know, could just take him down a path that is really hard to recover.
And you're trying to prevent all that from happening?
Well, I thought about that today. I actually was doing the silent prayer last night for like a good hour, and it just came to me like, I just have to let him fail. I just have to let him hit rock bottom and see it for himself.
You gotta let go.
And I gotta let it go. But at the same time, what I struggle with is, as I feel like, okay, when I grow up, I would blame my mom for everything. Like, you know, oh, you could have done more, and you could have done this, and you know, why'd you take me out of school? Why didn't you keep me in school and keep me motivated? You know, and my mom, her response would be like, well, because you didn't want to do it. And I think to myself, like, as a result, like, I didn't go to school. A lot of things happened to me, and it's like all these bad things happened in my life. And I look back and I thought, man, if my mom would have been just strong enough to really give me the right kind of guidance, I probably wouldn't have done like all this stuff. And I know you told me not to do the it
Your,
woulda,
your
shoulda, woulda.
your mother didn't motivate you?
Well, my mom gave up on me. My mom gave up. She just like
She tried to motivate you and you rebelled?
she would try. She would try,
she gave up.
but I would rebel.
Right.
And then she would give up. She was like, oh, you know, forget it.
And when
It's
she
too
gave
hard.
up, did you stop rebelling?
I don't know. I never stopped doing the wrong stuff. Like, I
Right.
never stopped. A matter of fact, I did even more. Like, I probably, you know, you know, like I said, I just go party, hang out with friends, do bad things, just take a really bad path. I didn't do better. Like, when my mom gave up, like, I didn't do better. I didn't come to my senses and realize, oh, I need to be a better person and I need to live a better life. It wasn't until I was about 19 that it came to me, 18, 19, that it came to me like, oh, something's not right here
Yeah.
in my life.
How old is his father?
45?
45? His father is 45?
Yes, sir.
And he can't take the son?
Not right now.
Is he black?
Yes.
He black? He black. 45-year-old man can't take his son. He sees his son falling apart. He can't do anything about it. He can't take him with him. What kind of man did you lay down with?
I can't speak for him.
Next time y'all ladies lay down with a man, you need to see some ID. Some personal address, a real job, and at least one credit card. That's amazing. So he needs his father. That's what he wants.
Yeah, I know he needs his father, but what I see is his father is, you know, asleep. Like, he's not woke. He doesn't want to, like, do right in his life. He's still smoking weed. He's still, you know, trying to figure things out. I mean, he works. He has a job, and he just, you know, he got a job, and they're going to be giving him his own apartment soon, you know.
Who's going to be giving it to him?
The job gives him a free, because it's a, like, maintenance type stuff.
It's like what?
Maintenance for, like, a housing complex.
And they give you a free apartment?
They give you a free
I
apartment.
want to work there.
So he's,
And so will you take his son then?
yes. he
And when
said-
is this going to happen?
Well, he says in this next couple of months.
But if he has a job already, why can't he just get an apartment already?
You know, I would have to, you would have to ask him directly, because I really don't know or understand it either, because I work every single day. I go to work every single day. I pay all the bills. I take care of everything, you know, and I don't have a problem, you know, with that. So I don't understand why that's the case.
Yeah. Well, that's what he needs. He needs his father real bad. And somehow or another, the father needs to take him.
And even
Wherever
if his
the
father
father's
takes
living
him,
now, he needs to let his son live with him. His father needs to let him live with him, no matter where he is.
yeah, I've talked to him about it, but he says that he can't take him.
But you got to let go with the struggle and try to force him to go your way. You know, trying to make him take all your opportunities you see, because you're causing him to rebel even more so.
Yeah, I do see that. I
Just
saw
let
that.
him, just be natural, be honest, be fair with him, but you got to pull back. You can't will it to be. He's fighting against your will.
And I talked to my son the other day on the way to school, and I said to him the same thing, like, you know, hey, when I was young, I blamed a lot on my mom.
That's
and
not
I got
gonna
older.
work.
And he told me, Mom, just let me be, let me fail and let me figure it out. He's like, and all, you know,
Well,
he's like, and I
good.
won't blame you later.
Well, tell him to get a job then.
Yeah.
He's 13, right?
No,
Tell him
he-
to go over to McDonald's and get a job.
You can't get a job until you're about like 15 or 16, I think.
Well, tell him to clean the yard, wash the dishes, milk the cow,
If I had
feed
a
the
cow,
horse or something. He needs to have stuff to do too. He'll feel better just having work to do.
Well, he's now like consumed with skateboarding. Like that's all he does is skateboard. You know?
He need to be working around the house or doing
Well,
something.
he does do stuff around the house. He does all the chores. I have like a list of things,
Okay.
and he does take care of everything. Like he doesn't
Well,
not
then
do
just
those
kind of
things.
back off, give him responsibilities to do, and don't pressure him so much, and stop crying over him.
Yeah.
And don't try to make him take the opportunities you think you see for him.
Yeah.
He need to see them for himself. Just got to back off. He'll be fine. He got to suffer for a while, but he may get over it. But you need to back off and stop being frustrated. All right?
Okay.
Let go. What?
Just it's so
I don't know, maybe it's because I blame my mother so much. I blamed so much my mother when I was growing up, and it's like, you know,
Well, you can't
it's the
blame your mother
realization of
anymore.
just.
You should be over your mother now.
I'm over my mother. Like, matter of fact,
okay.
the other day I was trying to tell somebody, like, all the bad things my mom did, and I really couldn't even remember.
Right.
I was like,
Yeah.
I don't remember everything.
It's
Well, I know
how
she
you-
did a bunch of stuff.
But don't do to your son what your mother did to you. Back
And
off.
that's what I'm afraid of, I
Give
think.
him work to do around the house. If he doesn't do it, you stay calm. He can't go and skateboard. Don't argue about it or anything. Just say, no, you're not going to skateboard. You didn't clean the house or whatever.
And if he threatens to leave, and he leaves,
Okay, bye.
okay, let him go, like, let him out the
Hit the
door.
road, Jack. But then you got to be ready for it. Not because I said it. Because the devil going to tell you, he's in the streets. He's doing this, and you're going to blame yourself for that. You got to see the right time. Because if you try to force him, he's going to run away anyway eventually.
Okay,
Amazing.
all right, thank you.
But stop being so emotional so you can see the right time for everything.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. All right? Okay. Yes, ma'am. You had your hand, right?
Yeah, it was just about it was a little while ago. Are we still talking about the prostitute? and
Yes.
The older man?
I forgot about the prostitute. So if a teenage girl is on the line or on the street selling her body and an adult male buy it, who is the victim, who is the victimizer?
I was just going to touch on when they were saying that the young girl doesn't know what she's doing, right? And the older man should know better. We're basing that off the premise that the person going out and seeking to buy sex from a woman off the street is like a moral thinking man. Like, you're putting something out there that could be so tempting for people who are so like corrupted in their heart
Right.
that they're going out seeking to buy sex. And then there's a young girl, she could be 17, about to turn 18, she could be 13. The guy could be 19, or he could be 50. It's like, you know, there's a lot of different scenarios, but
Right.
the point is that the man going out and seeking sex from a 19-year-old woman or a 15-year-old woman doesn't know better either. Like, he can't control that, like, urge within him. It's not like he's someone who thinks, I know this is wrong, or believes, I know this is wrong. Women should be taken care of. They should be protected. He doesn't believe that. He doesn't think like that or act like that. He's someone out to, you know, take and enjoy and exploit, and that's the spirit of that man. So, like, he really doesn't know better than the young girl either.
Amazing. So you're saying no victim, no victimizer.
No.
Amazing. Interesting. That's Mark's wife. The wife is smarter than the husband. No. Right here and then there.
So
Yeah.
the young girl's the victim.
The young girl's a
The
victim.
man's a victimizer.
And why do you say that?
She's under 18. She doesn't know right from wrong. Young people under 18 can't give consent.
So when she's out on the street or online, she's not giving consent?
No. She's saying I want this, but she doesn't know
Isn't
right
that
from wrong.
consent?
No, because she thinks right is wrong and wrong is right. She doesn't know right from wrong.
So she think prostitute is right?
Right.
So she's like, oh, I'm doing a good thing here?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And why do you say that?
Because kids don't know. They don't know right from wrong. They have to be taught it. They think they know things, but they usually have some pretty funny ideas about how the world works.
Oh, okay.
A
So
man-
you're saying that the girl is the victim and the guy is the victimizer?
A grown man
Right.
knows right from wrong, and to comment that, you know, they don't on the fact that they don't. No, they do. They all do. There's no
But
way
the
that they don't.
teenage girl doesn't know right from wrong?
No, but then when she turns 18, throw her in jail with the rest of the prostitutes. But until then,
Amazing.
until then, you know, we have our rules, and that's one of them.
Oh, okay. Yes, sir. And then I'll come to you, Cheryl, and here. And then I'll tell you why I asked this in a minute. Yes, sir.
I believe that they're both victims.
They both what?
They're both victims.
So the guy's the man is a victim and the teenage girl is a victim?
Yes, sir.
In what way?
They're in a fallen state.
Meaning what?
God is going to punish them both for the acts that they're committing.
So should the guy go to jail?
Yeah,
And why?
because he's committing a crime against God and morality.
He's committed a crime against God and morality by
Yes,
buying
sir.
the prostitute girl?
Yes, sir.
How
and
is
having
that?
and not being married to the woman that he's having sex with.
And so how is he a victim? He's in a father state, you say?
Yeah.
So can he help himself then?
No.
Why should it be punished then if he can't help it?
Well, that's the result of committing acts when you're in a fallen state, right? Being punished, right? So you can learn.
And should the girl be thrown in jail too with the prostitutes?
I don't know what her punishment should be, but because
Should there be a punishment for the teenage girl?
she's already being punished.
And the guy's not?
Yeah, he's being punished too.
But should the girl be punished too?
By who?
By the system?
No,
She should not, why not?
because she's 13. And she might be being forced to do what she does, or
Well, I'm saying
She had
if
a
she's
different
willing to do it. No one enforces her. She's online. The salesman coming to town. She making known, I'm available. I meet you at JoJo's hotel, and she shows up.
nah, she's 13.
She's what?
She's 13.
She shouldn't go to jail?
Nah,
Amazing.
she's not gonna. She's 13.
Okay. Yes, Cheryl. And then here.
I was just going to make a joke. If the
You're gonna
services
make a joke about the prostitute?
if the services
Oh,
are under
mean lady.
if the services are under $900 in California, nobody's prosecuted. Just kidding.
There you go. Yeah, make sure she keep the rate down. Do not charge 1,000. Right here. And then Ermias.
Well, like you said, she's willing, so she's the dealer and he's the addict, and whatever events would have led her to think that's all right. It's just like Kamal said, it's the same thing. We don't know what he went through. He could be 19, 21. It's not much older. She could be 17.
So who is the victim and who is the victimizer?
Neither one.
Neither
They're
one.
both wrong, but they don't know it. They can't see it.
Should the guy go to prison or to jail?
I make them talk to you.
After that?
I don't know. I
Should
mean,
he go to
if that's
jail?
the law, that's the law. I can't change it, but I don't think it's the best solution.
Should he go to jail?
Not if it was up to me.
Oh, okay. So you're saying no, he should not?
No.
He should not? Oh, okay. Amazing. Yes, Hermes. I saw you. I saw it all over you.
Does the guy know she's 13? Is it apparent she's 13?
Oh, Lord. If a
I mean, it makes a
teenage
difference.
girl, underage girl,
Okay,
on the corner online, selling her body,
right.
and an old age man, over 18 and over, should purchase the body.
Mm-hmm.
Who is the victim and who is the victimizer?
I think, I don't think it's either. I think they're both. I don't think there's a victim and I don't think there's a victimizer.
So what now?
I don't think there's a victim or a victimizer.
Nobody's a victim and no one is a victimizer?
No, because they're both participating willingly, and if it's not obvious, she's
But how about the lady, some of the ladies said the man should know better.
no better what? I
Then
mean,
to
how
pick
would he
up
know
a,
how old she is?
I'm sorry?
How would he know how old she
She
is?
looked like a teenager, that's why he picked her
Oh,
up.
she looks underage.
Yeah.
Okay, in that case, then she would be the victim. I mean, if it's
How about if he didn't know, if she didn't look like a teenager, but she's a teenager?
then he can't. There's no victim or victimizer. If he knows it up front, then she would be a victim because he should know better as an adult male. He should know better anyways as a man, but
What do you mean know better?
I mean, being the man, he should have. I mean, if he was a whole man, he wouldn't be out there looking for prostitutes anyways.
What do you mean he should know better?
He should know better than be out on the street looking for sex.
And so, if he pick up a young girl, he's what?
He's what?
Should he go to prison for that?
No.
Why not?
'Cause, I mean, I don't think it's illegal to.
No, if it's illegal by law of the land, should he go to prison?
No, because I don't think so.
Why not?
Because it's kind of like a trap.
But you said he know better.
If she's underage, like if she's 13, it's apparent she's underage, he should know better.
But how about if it's not a parent, but she is?
No, he shouldn't go to
'Cause
prison.
don't nobody ask no prostitute, well, how old are you?
I mean, you can.
Although you mighty old.
You better. Chris Hansen may show up.
So what?
I said, you better ask. I would say that, no, there's no victim or victimizer. I don't think he should go to prison.
The man should go to jail?
No. Because they're out there, she's selling it willingly. Nobody's, as far as we know, unless she has a pimp, she's out there selling it willingly, and he's being tempted to purchase it.
Wow.
So,
This should be a town hall.
yeah.
This is such an interesting question.
But if it's clear she's underage, then...
But I don't know what you mean by clear.
Well, you can tell. She looks like she's...
No, you can't.
Sometimes.
Not all the time. No.
That's,
Not all the time.
that's a tough one.
It's a tough one?
That's a tough one.
Why?
Because it's such a big deal now with, you know, sex trafficking and underage and all this kind of stuff. I don't know. It's just...
Wow, it feels like a tough question.
Yeah.
And so you can't answer it because it's tough?
I don't see a victim or victimizer if they're both willingly doing it.
So she got
So
up
he
that
shouldn't go to- he
morning,
should not
she
go to
put on
prison.
perfume, she may have taken a bath,
Yeah.
and went and looked pretty, got on the net or whatever. The guy got up and may have taken a bath, went online and got her.
Yeah.
No victim and no
No
victimizer?
victim, no victimizer.
And so should the guy go to prison?
No.
And the girl shouldn't either?
No.
And why not?
Because they're doing what they want to do. And they're not hurting anybody else, so...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Why are you laughing, Nick? Interesting, yeah, sure. Victoria.
I more or less had a question because now I'm unclear about God's law versus man's law.
Uh-huh.
The reason I say that is because back to the whole how young is too young, because the 17, 19 scenario that everybody's kicking around,
Right.
I've experienced that.
Experience what?
When I met my person, I was 17 and he was 19.
You a prostitute?
If you really put, no, I'm going to be real about this.
Yeah.
The only mistake I made is I didn't charge him for it. That was my
Ooh,
boyfriend.
a
I'm just
free
saying.
prostitute.
So
Those are the
what?
best kind. I didn't pay for it, so you can't go to jail.
But no, so that's what I'm saying. So when I am back to the God's law thing, what I really need clarification on. I don't think there's a victim here, but my question is.
So she's not a victim or victimizer, he's not either?
No, because like I said, if I look at my personal experience, I knew exactly what I was doing. I knew he was 19. I knew we were close enough in age. Nobody was really going to go crazy.
Yeah.
You know? But it didn't mean, but like I said, according to man's law, he was a grown man. I was a child. But I had a job, you know? I was doing things that adults would do.
So should he go to jail?
Absolutely not. No, because I think if a girl is wise enough to know how to use her body to her advantage, she's old enough for the consequences. You know what I mean?
Interesting. Very interesting point.
But can I go back to the man's law versus God's law?
Yes.
Many young women start to menstruate when they're like 9 or 10.
They started what?
Bleed. They start to have their period. They have their menstrual cycle.
I'm black and slow. What is menstruate? Oh, that menstruate. He went like this.
Okay.
I thought it was ministrant.
You were going to say ministrate? It's not ministrate. It's menstruate.
Period. Okay, go ahead.
Somebody look it up. Okay,
That
listen.
time of the month. Okay, go ahead. That was funny. He went. And then I knew.
Okay, so what I mean is that according to nature, as soon as I begin that part of my life,
Yeah,
I'm equipped to have children.
right.
So
Right.
what makes her becoming a prostitute like wrong? I'm not clear on that completely. So that's what I'm saying. Like if once that starts to happen in your body, does a woman then like, is she able to dictate what happens with her body? Is she able to then engage in sexual intercourse? Because it's happening so she can bear children.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
again, like I said, this is the 18 thing is man's law. That is not something that God created that to my knowledge. I mean, is it? I don't know. I
I'll
haven't read
come
the
back
Bible.
to it.
So.
I want to tell why I asked this question. So I just want to hear from, I want you guys to think about this too. So I'll come back to it in a minute. Yes, sure. Interesting. I haven't nearly gotten to what I wanted to talk about. I had no idea. Yes.
We're sorry.
I'm glad. I like
think-
it.
Yeah, I think, when she said, like, girls know how to use their body, but a 2-year-old girl knows how to wrap her dad around her finger and get what she wants.
Right.
But you wouldn't screw her. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little
he said
different.
the word.
So,
Girl said the word.
and then
I see how
when you
you
say,
talk on the street.
I know, sorry, but you wouldn't, But the thing is, and when you talk about
Some guys will.
Okay, so when you
I know. Don't you hear the news when guys are with little
that
kids?
illegal immigrant, the girl was
Yeah.
free. But I think the reason when you say, well, they have their periods young, I think in the old days, and even like in the 60s and 50s.
Those
like
days wasn't that old.
Well, no. What I mean is,
Old
sorry.
days.
But what I'm saying is, you would find like my great aunts, they would get married like at 15 and 16.
Right.
But the men would be providers. They were good men.
Right.
They if you talk, like I had a neighbor, she was like 90, but her husband did everything. He provided, he paid. All she had to do was stay home. You know what I mean? And so the men were different then. And then I'm thinking back in the biblical days, maybe they did get married at 9 and 10, but the men were different. It was different.
Yeah.
Now it's not like that.
Amazing.
Because they're betas, right?
Wow. Let me take this hand, then I got to move on with the subject here, and then there. All right, Mark? I'm glad you guys smoking on this. Yes, in the back. Yeah, where you? How's married life going?
It's great.
You like it?
Yeah.
It's still new.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Well, I think people need to either, like for wrongdoing, I don't think either one of them are victims. I think they just are, a girl knows when she's doing wrong.
So should the man go to jail for that?
Go to jail? I think there should be some sort of, instead of throwing people in jail, they should have them do some sort of like work, like pay something. Like maybe pays a fee. Actually, yeah, that may sound off, but he should pay like some sort of fee. Maybe pay for classes to show her not how to be a hooker or something, but and then she pays a fee for like another girl that's trying to get out of, this lifestyle.
But he should not go to jail.
I don't know if it's just jail. What? Then you go throw him in jail and then we pay for his food? Like that doesn't make sense to me.
So you're saying he should not go to jail?
No.
All right.
Yeah.
Right here, and then Mark. Okay.
I was thinking about my grandma. She was 14 years old, and my grandfather was 30. And that was when they had their first child. And when I talked to my mom about it, we talk about that in that era, in that time, that's just very natural. Like, that wasn't an age where it was unheard of. But then when I look at kids today and I look at how they behave and their way of thinking, I'm like, there's no way a child, 13, 14, 15, really has the right mindset to be a wife or to do those type of things. And, so that was my 2 cents.
Oh, okay. Yes, Mark.
I think Martin hit it on the head last week when he said that the untouchable cow in this country is women. We have 2 consenting people doing wrong, and we're saying let's put one in jail. It would be just as ridiculous to say let's put the woman in jail and let the man go free.
Interesting. So you're saying that neither should go to jail?
Correct.
And no victim and no victimizer?
Right.
Oh, okay. You said let the cow run around?
What's that?
What did you say about the cow?
Oh, the sacred cow that you can't touch. Like
you
you
touch
said,
a
for
woman.
example,
I
you
see.
said there's a teenage girl.
Right.
Everyone's like, she's 13, the youngest possible age.
Right.
They all jump to that instantly. You know what I mean? What I'm saying is
I
the way
got you.
we view women, they're automatically victims. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know any better. They're just dumb. And nothing could be more sexist than that. You know what I mean?
Amazing.
Nothing could be more hateful towards women, assuming, judging them. They know nothing, they're dumb, they need to be taken care of like vegetables.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Interesting. So no
And-
jail time for anyone.
Correct.
Okay.
And the woman could be a teenager, right, 19, and the man could be, by what you said, an adult, 18 and up, and be younger than her. By what you said, the scenario you gave, and everyone's saying he's 50, he's gross, and it's just a poor little girl tiptoeing through the tulips. She has no idea what she's doing.
Yes, ma'am. I saw you talking. Is this a hard subject?
I recall you saying she was 13, right? If it was a 13.
No, I just said a teenager.
Oh, a
I don't remember
teenager.
saying an age.
Oh, I thought you said that she was 13.
And the guy's an older guy, over
Yeah.
18.
I still
18
think
and over.
that it comes from somewhere. I don't think she just woke up one day and said, I want to be a prostitute. You know, I think it comes from somewhere.
And should the
So-
man go to jail?
Again, if it's not illegal, no.
How about,
But, you know, I've
should
been
the
in
girl go
position.
too? Because after all,
No.
she's the prostitute.
Yeah, I think if it's not illegal, no.
How about if it's
But-
illegal? Should the girl and the guy go to jail?
If it's illegal for her to be selling her body, yes.
If it's illegal for the prostitute to sell the body to the provider, to the buyer, should they both go to jail?
I think so.
So
But
throw the girl
think,
in jail?
I think she should probably not go to jail, but go somewhere where she's going to get help.
How about the guy? Should he go to jail or get help? The older guy, 18 and over.
I
Should he
think
go
per-
to jail or should he get help?
I think perhaps he may need help as well, because why is he searching for something like that? He himself may have some kind of emptiness, or I don't know, why is he looking at women, you know, as just a tool for sex?
So should he go to jail?
No, I don't think jail's the answer for everything and for everybody.
All right, okay. So many more people want in on this, but right here, right there, then I gotta move it forward. Yes, sir, the blue jacket.
It occurred to me that sitting here listening, that it's really the girl is the victimizer and the man is the victim.
How is that?
Because I guess it was the analogy with the sex dealer and the sex addict. So it was the same.
But the man is a grown man.
Right. So if a 13-year-old stabs a 50-year-old on the street, does that mean he's you know? It doesn't make it. I don't see that it really makes a difference the age, right? Because we're all agreeing, both of these people should know right from wrong.
So
And
you're
if they don't
saying
know
that-
right from wrong, they're not really responsible. Satan's their daddy.
So you said the girl is the victimizer?
Yeah.
She is, and the man is the victim?
Yeah.
He got up and got in his car and drove down Santa Monica Boulevard. Or Sunset now, I think they moved. When I first moved here, they used to be on Santa Monica. And and he got in his car, he saw this pretty young girl stand on the corner, and he bought her. And you're saying she is the victimizer?
Well, really, I mean, at first my answer would have been, well, they're both victims and they're both victimizers. And the victimizer is Satan and they're the victim. But then, you know, well, they're victimizing each other. But in this concrete example, yeah, she's taking advantage of his weakness. It's not certain that he's taking advantage of her weakness. She might have a weakness or not.
It's not certain that he's taking advantage of her weakness and she's standing on the corner
Right.
with loud perfume.
Yeah. I mean, obviously she
You
has
know how to
a...
prostitute with that loud perfume. You can smell it before you get there.
I never got that close, Jesse.
What?
I never got that close.
Me either, but I seen it on the movie. So you say that the girl is the victimizer to the older guy. They're victimizing the old guy.
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you say?
Does the girl have a pimp? Does she have a pimp?
This is not a movie.
No. No. Okay. Well, I agree in terms of.
You agree to what?
I agree as far as the girl being the victimizer and the man being the victim, because it's like.
How's the girl the victimizer? She's a teenager.
I mean, it's.
And the man is a grown man.
In terms of capitalism, like.
Capitalism.
In terms of capitalism,
She selling bad products.
Dunkin' Donuts is always going to sell donuts, and the people are going to go to get the donuts whether they know that it's healthy or not. And most people know that donuts are not healthy.
So the girl is Dunkin' Donut.
Pretty much, yeah.
And the guy's the buyer.
The girl is a crack dealer. The girl, and it's the same thing. So
should the guy go to jail?
Yes, because by the law of the land, depending on what state you're in. If the law of the land
should the girl
illegalizes,
go to jail too?
Huh?
Should she go to jail? The teenage girl?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And the last word, what do you say? Yeah.
There's no victim or victimizer. It's a transaction.
Ooh.
But I was thinking as we were talking about it that because you bring up the jail part too. That's the second part of the question, and I think they should both be in jail, and because the laws reflect the society, right? Like the laws of the land or whatever just reflect the society. They're downstream from what the culture is, right?
Interesting.
So if you were a moral society, maybe you would outlaw that kind of stuff.
So they both should go to jail?
Yeah, but this whole the girls the victimizer thing has got me going a bit. I'm just like, that's interesting.
I bet it does, Nick. So let me tell you why I asked this. First of all, I want to tell you about this girl that over in Europe somewhere, while growing up, she felt like a guy. And she talked to, I guess, her folks and organization. They said, yeah, you can be a guy. And so they started doing this therapy stuff on her, giving her these pills and things, changing her, I guess, how she felt. And now she's 16 years old, and they're taking off her breasts and everything, right? And now she feels like a girl. She doesn't like it. And she wished that somebody had stopped her along the way. And so they sued the organization because nobody stopped her. They just, as a kid, while she was a kid, they encouraged it. And that's happening a lot, right? And nobody's stopping it. It's crazy. And if I heard of a father in New York or somewhere who tried to stop it, and the mother went on to court, I think he finally did. Went, or Texas or somewhere. Yeah. Remember that? Did he win that?
Twin boys.
Twin boy, really? So he was able to stop it. We got to stand up because the world will eat its own. So let me tell you why I brought this subject up about the victimizer and the victim. I watched this channel called Reels. You ever seen that? And it's about real life. It's about people with money, actors and entertainers and all those kind of people, right? And they have real money. And you just don't know what they're going through behind closed doors. They're having horrible lives, right? So this guy, he used to do commercials for Subway. He was a fat guy growing up and really fat. And while growing up, he was depressed. He stayed to himself a lot. He was really out of it. And I think he grew up with his father and mother, I think. But he was still an outcast, like. He finally finished high school, went to college. And in college, he stayed to himself for the most part and just got really, really fat. And somewhere down the line, he decided that he was going to try to lose weight or something, right? So he heard about Subway and that they had these little calories in their food. So he started eating the sandwiches. He was less calories, fewer calories, right? So he started eating all these sandwiches, and over a couple of years, he just lost tons of weight. You guys remember that guy? Yeah, Jared. What's his name? Jared. Yeah, that's his name. It's Jared, right? And so Jared lost weight. And so apparently the school paper wrote about it. That's how the word started getting out. And then after a while, some news article picked it up. And they say, Subway were using him in commercials. He was all over the place. They built, I think, hundreds of more Subways as a result of him being in these commercials. Then he started speaking at schools, and he just traveled around the world. He was worth $15 million at one point. $15 million. I'm going to get me a Subway today. Forget about the gym, right? And then So the guy was like, and everybody, the world loved him. Everybody wanted him in their life. We want Jared, right? And so Jared made a lot of money, and then he started a foundation. Because they said, you make all this money, you should be acting like you're giving something back, right? So he started a foundation to help kids with obesity. And then, but Jared was so busy, according to the story, he hired some other guy. He met this other guy, so a loner guy, kind of. And this guy started running the foundation for him. In the meantime, Jared is out doing his thing. And Jared had a desire to be with young girls, kid girls, right? He wanted to be with them sexually, but he would never do it. But he would think about it. And then one day he met this guy who, a loner, kind of a guy too, but had the right look. And this guy was, Jared started telling this guy about his desires. Oh, I like to get with kids, blah, 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 turn me on, blah, 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 right? And so the guy would befriend him. And so eventually Jared let the guy run his foundation while he did his thing. And then Jared was interviewed by a reporter. They were going to do the story on him, a female reporter, right? And so this reporter befriended him, interviewing him, and Jared started telling this woman, eventually after a number of years, started telling this woman about his desires of being with kids. And so the woman went and told the FBI that Jared has these desires to be with kids. He has not done anything. So they couldn't arrest him because you used to have free thought to have desire, right? And then, so this woman, the FBI told this woman, make sure you secretly record his conversations. So for 4 years, she secretly recorded his conversations. And he was talking about the desires he had, but he had not done anything. And then this other guy that took over the foundation, apparently he had the same desires, right? And so he started hooking up with kids online, girls online. And so he was taking pictures of them, he did all this. And something happened. They finally Jared did it. I forgot how the story went. And they found all these things online, right? And they destroyed his foundation as a result. The one guy went to prison, and then Jared went to prison. All of a sudden, as soon as the story broke, Subway erased Jared's life. They took him offline. They took away all his, and Jared was in movies, all kind of stuff. And they just erased his life as though in just 1 minute, his life was gone. As though it never existed. And Jared went to prison, and then the family sued. You don't have no personal lawsuit thing. What do you call that? Civil suit, yeah. They had that. He had to pay out $1 million. He had agreed to put out $1 million to pay the family, but then he ended up paying more because they sued him more. They gave Jared, I think they offered like 5 years or something like that in prison, but he went to some court. And the judge said, no, we give you more. They gave him 15 years in prison. Isn't that amazing? But here's the kicker. Jared had therapy and all that. He went to professionals for therapy. Nobody was able to help him deal with the real problem. And they just blamed the guy, threw him in prison, and got rid of him. Thought no more about him. And I bring that up to say that for a couple of reasons. What I realized is that they didn't know it was a spiritual problem. They didn't know, no one paused to think, there's no way in the world that Jared would be right on top of the world in a physical way like that. Coming from where he came from, popular, making all that money, living a life, that Jared would decide on his own, I'm going to go and just mess up my life. No one knew that. They never thought of it as a spiritual thing going on. They gave him therapy, best therapy, it didn't work. And no one said, it may be spiritual, let's deal with that, to help the guy out. No one did it. They just locked him away, and I think he's still in prison. I don't know if he's out. But they went to all the experts, and the experts did not have the answer. I bring it up because the little kids are already victimized because they coming from angry, screwed up parents, right? As Cheryl would say, screw, right? Parents. And then Jared was screwed up because he came from a screwed up parents. He grew up miserable, right? And just because he gained all the physical wealth and material things, that didn't change that spirit. Because as soon as he got comfortable, that thing came alive really, because Jared was like liked by the world. So that thing told him, you know, you can do what you want now, Jared. You're the man. They don't care. And that spirit deceived him to cause him to believe that he was going to get away with it. That he was going to get away. And I want to just tell you, it's not you. It's the spirit that made a home in you. That's why you must be born again. No psychiatrist or therapist or preacher, anyone can help you overcome that. You got to see that it's a spirit in you. You're possessed. You really, I know in the Bible it talks about how Jesus laid hands on folks and they were healed. And I think some people just touched them and they were healed, right? When you overcome that anger, you're being healed of spirits. Those spirits are being rebuked from you. You don't have to lay on hands anymore. You can just repent for being wrong, for being angry. That spirit that made a home in you caused you to become angry. Because here you are, you're a little kid, you're innocent, you're having fun, and then all of a sudden somebody makes you angry. The moment you judge, in your mind that spirit enters, and it starts to make you think that it's the real deal, right? And it starts to drive you. So the girl that's the prostitute have a spirit in her. She needs to overcome spiritually, and so does the guy. And I understand you're right about the law. We need some law of the land, but the laws are easy now. You can steal up to $900, right? But it's the spirit that we need to get back to dealing with. Show people how to overcome the spirit of what's happening. Because they're not doing that with the degrees in the expert world and stuff like that. And Jared, he seemed like a nice guy. He went through hell, and he couldn't help it. He didn't know. And I'm sure he knew something was making him do it, but he didn't understand, it seems. And they just threw him away. The world will eat its own. That's why you have to be in the world, but not of it. We do need the law of the land to contain the lawless of the heart. So a lot of people don't follow the laws of the heart. So you definitely need the law of the land that need to be enforced. But even those who are enforcing the law of the land need to see what they're doing. You know, and when I was growing up, 15-year-old girls did get married because they were young, they were strong, and they had good husbands, as you said, and they built strong families. Now you have to wait till they're 90. Nobody want no old woman to be having no baby, right? You want a healthy baby. No one of these babies not healthy. The woman too old, right? But the women got mad. They hate the men. They passed all these crazy laws, right? But I remember growing up, they talked about the spirit that made you do what you didn't want to do, and how to overcome that and stuff like that. We need to get back to the spirit. These men and women are not just waking up in the morning and decide, I want to go and do bad things. You're being influenced. That's why you must be born again, so you can be influenced by good. But I thought it was interesting how they just wiped that guy's life out, threw him in prison, and that's it. Sued him for all his money, and now his name he's just suffering. That's how the world's going to do you. That's why you got to be in it, but not of it. They'll chew you up and spit you out. And so on this show, Real, then I tell you, Ernest, on this show, Real, they show all these actors and entertainers behind closed doors. They are drunks, they are alcoholics, they are sexing and marrying and breaking up and on drugs and medication and depression. But when they come out on the red carpet, it look like they're all happy and beautiful and rich. And you think, oh, I want to be that, right? Don't want to be that. It's reversed now. This is the kingdom of heaven within, and he will add all that stuff unto you. Your livelihood, your job, your whatever you need, right? Beforehand, it used to be the other way around. They tried to get stuff and be somebody. But now you have to live from within, and God will add. But if you try to make the world add it to you, they're going to screw you up. They're going to destroy you. So don't try to be like them. Seek the kingdom of God first and live from within rather than living from without. Let me take Ernest first and then I come. Yes?
Yeah, so got a question. So as far as Satan will give you scenarios or ideas and thoughts to kind of, you watch it, you step back, you watch it play out. And I hear you say that we don't have free will and we're all making our own choices, right?
Right.
So the scenario's playing out, you're watching it, you know it's wrong, you don't go with it, right? Or you're not going with it because you can see that it's wrong. But in a situation, at a certain point, it seems like you could decide to go with it, right? So
That's such a good point.
Is that decision that makes you think it's you? Is it just that you're not aware enough to see that it's not you? Or is it you actually deciding to go along with it because you want to enjoy the pleasure or whatever?
You never, ever, ever, never, 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 but ever, 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 Mamma Mia, hola, si senor, hold your wallet. You never decide to go along with it. But when you struggle with it, not to go along with it, eventually it convinces you that you can get away with it, that it's okay. And then, so you just go because you're fighting it. That spirit, right? Suggestion. But if you don't fight it and don't judge it as right or wrong, don't warfare with it at all, because it's a spirit, there's nothing you can do about it. And so it makes you start thinking it and you start feeling it. The moment you get mad about it, the moment you try not to do it, the moment you struggle with it, you give it power over you because you're playing God. But if you just don't judge it as right or wrong and know that it's something else driving you, you can overcome it. You won't give in to it. You can't fight. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against spirits. So you got to stop fighting with the spirits. Don't judge yourself. And what happened is that you've been taught that it's wrong, right? And so if Satan is seducing you to do something like that, you're already judging it as wrong. And so you're fighting it because you've been told that it's wrong. And you believe. That's why you got to let these words go in one ear and out the other, because words set you up. Teaching set you up to judge right and wrong. And the knowledge of good and evil is not good. So when that thing comes, just be aware, but don't judge it as right or wrong. Be aware, don't fight against it. You're less likely to give into it. You'll overcome it. But if you fight it, you give it power over you. How many times have you said, I'm not going to do it again? I can't believe it, right? And you end up doing it because you're fighting not to, rather than being relaxed and observing it. And it's the light of God that will, if you relax and don't judge it, don't play God, he will destroy it. He'll take it away from you. And then the world, they set kids up anyway to do this stuff. They're teaching about sex the moment you pop out of, they got drag queens doing the, what do you call that dance? Twerking in front of kids. So they'll set you up to put you in jail. And then they'll blame somebody else for it. But don't fight against the spirit. Observe it, but don't fight it. That makes sense?
Yeah.
I saw his hand first here and then over there, right? Yes, sir.
Jesse, it's true what you're saying about seeking first the kingdom of God, and
Yes.
everything will be added onto you.
Yes.
Because when you open the door to that, and you're opening the things of God, you're letting the Holy Spirit come to lead you and guide you.
Yes.
That's going to give you the discernment to discern the common sense of what is going on.
Absolutely.
Because we need that. We need the right hand
And
of
we
God.
have it. The weird thing,
Yes.
the interesting thing about it, we have everything we need on the inside. And it's interesting how things can be revealed to you. You could just see, like, wow, that's deep, right? Well, we have it all, but you got to live from within the New Testament and not the old one. You can't go the way of the world. And before the New Testament, it was see all these traditions, right? Do all these things. Kill the calf and all that stuff, right? Now that we're born of the Spirit, you don't have to do all those things. Everything is done from within now. And so before, you have to go out there to get the world to feel better. Now you go inside, and the world is added to you, and that way you're in it and not of it. And believe me, he'll take care of you. He really will. He'll find you jobs. He'll have you in the right places at the right time. But just live your life. Don't compare it to anyone. Don't try to have as much as someone else has. Don't try to, just be you. And let them, wish them well. Let them walk on the red carpet, you know what I'm saying? But don't want to be like them. Wish them well. And just simply live your life. And it'll be amazing. It really will.
And then I just also wanted to say, Scripture does say that if you're a friend of the world, you're an enemy of God.
Absolutely.
So that's why we are separated from the world.
And that's such a good point. But don't try to make yourself be that way. You can't make yourself not be a friend of the world. All right? As you're seeking the kingdom and once you're born again, he will draw you out of the world. Even though you're in it, you won't be of it. It's a spiritual thing that happens from within you. It really does. All right? Yes, sir.
I'm a little confused, Jesse. So being a child molester is not wrong?
I wouldn't judge it as right or wrong.
I said, I don't understand. I don't understand.
Because you're judging it based on what you've learned right and wrong is. But when you discern right from wrong, that's what it guides you.
Right, so if I discern
And you'll be able
that-
to help somebody. Let's say that you saw a child molester, right? And you already have a decision about him or her. You won't be able to help him.
I discern that it's wrong, and I also understand what you're saying, that it's a spiritual battle. But I think at one point, when you, like you said, it's not a choice that you make to do that.
Right.
At some point, when you lose that battle, for whatever reason, and you cross that line, and you actually do something, you know, there's a point, I think, where, you know, you can get help from people. You know,
Not from the world, though.
you can say, I'm having this battle, I need help with this. But when you lose that battle and you cross the line,
That's another interesting point. Jared told people
have
what he was
time.
thinking, right? He told people he was reaching out, but no one knew how to help him. Instead, they turned him over to the cops. No one said, you know what, Jared, you need to go and forgive. It's a spiritual thing driving you. This is not you. Don't hate it. Go and forgive so you can overcome the spirit.
but what I'm saying is-
Instead, they set him up to destroy him.
I see, you know, I can look at myself and I see evil things inside me, the devil talking to me, you know, telling me to do things.
Right.
I have time, though, to fight that battle and to, you know, do my silent prayer and work it out before I go.
But Jared didn't know about all that, though, and no one told him. If there had been someone around him with insight, they would have suggested that. When Jared started telling that woman, reporter, and they took 4 years to set him up. Out of the whole 4 years, no one said, you know, this guy got a spiritual issue, so before he gives into it, let's try to show him how to overcome the spiritual thing that's driving him. But instead, they just gather information and information and information to destroy him.
But that's
They never try to help him.
That's a completely different, like, that's just a stupid thing. I mean, if you're having that kind of trouble, you don't go and tell a reporter that you're having thoughts about touching kids. I mean,
Right.
You go tell someone appropriate. You don't. So that's a whole other thing. But I just think.
Who is the appropriate person to tell? You have to go on Google and find that.
Yeah, I gotta Google that. I gotta
Where
Google
Nick?
that.
Nick
I
can
don't
find
know.
it on Google.
I don't know, but
Gotcha.
a reporter is not the one. A reporter is not the one.
That's
I
what
just.
especially a female reporter. This guy was telling a female reporter. He was telling Satan's daughter. And instead of the woman helping him, she's like, okay, Daddy, I got this one.
So I think there's a time to fight, but then there's also a time to be punished as well when you lose that fight. And I don't think that it's at all appropriate to take away that punishment.
Well, I said that we need the law of the land, but I'm showing you the bigger picture of when this guy was really dealing with this before he did anything. He was telling people, and nobody told him how to overcome it. But they loved him. They took his money. They showed up at these events. He can mention whatever Jared wanted, they gave it to him. And they were happy to do it, right? But nobody ever said, you know what, man, you should overcome this. You can overcome it. Don't let that go, or how to overcome it.
Maybe I'm interpreting this wrong, but what I seem to be hearing a lot of in here was that it's not possible for an older man to take advantage of a little girl. And I don't agree with that at all. I don't know if that's what's being said, but
You said they're saying it's not possible?
I heard from people in here talking that it's not possible for an older man to take advantage of a young girl, that the little girl is taking advantage of him.
Well, I think the point that I hope most people are making, that they both been traumatized spiritually in the home. That's why we need perfect parents. The prostitute girl on the street has already been traumatized in the home. That's what drives her to the street. She's been separated from God. She's separated from her father. She has these issues, right? So she's out there looking for love, and the guy that's going out there to buy it, or the woman, they're looking for the same thing. They've been traumatized already as well, right. And they're both looking for the same thing. It's just one body is bigger than the other, one is older than the other, but it's the same spirit. It's the same cause, and the effect, the way to overcome is the same. It's no different in spirits.
So you don't think the age has anything to play in the matter? It has no effect in the matter?
No,
Age?
because an older man or woman who has not overcome the spirit can give in just like a younger child would. Because you're driven, influenced by evil or influenced by good. You don't have a choice. You're not in control. They both are being influenced. The girl is looking for something, and so is the guy. And they both know that something is wrong. That's why they sneak and do it, right? But they don't know how to overcome it, exactly what it is and how to overcome it.
Does the guy still need to be punished?
There should be laws of the land. But the punishment needs to be just.
Is throwing him in jail not just?
It's all depending on the incident. But we definitely need laws of the land for the lawless because most people are not living by the law of the heart now. So we need to contain them. Look at Black Lives Matter. They need containment. You know what I mean? Look at Antifa.
Yeah.
We need laws of the land, but yet the laws are not won't even contain those people.
Right.
They're trying to contain people like Jared, put them in jail.
Right.
Instead of helping them to overcome.
Yeah, I don't think that these people, I don't think that type of person, like you asked earlier, should they be killed? I don't think they should be killed, but I think that once you've betrayed society like that, you need to be put away. You can't
But
be
you
allowed.
haven't betrayed society. Society made you that way. They made him that way because he was already in a fallen state. But nobody said along the way, hey, man.
I think that's an excuse. I overcame society. You know, why can't other people do it?
Because maybe no one Jared didn't hear the truth or it just didn't happen for him. But the point is, nobody knew it was a spiritual thing. They sent him to experts. He saw all kind of expert therapists and psychiatrists and all that. They're like, no, we can't do anything. But you're fortunate that you're waking up, that you heard the
No,
truth.
I am. And I know that other people aren't as fortunate as me. They're not as
Right.
fortunate as me to be in here.
Right.
They're not as fortunate as me to have the experiences
That's
that
why
I've
when
had.
you guys wake up, and ladies, you got to be examples out there. You know, be honest. Just don't hate, but tell the truth because it's not the person. It's not the physical person. It's the
Some
spirit.
people would call that privilege. But privilege. But I don't. But I guess the last thing I'll say. The last thing I'll say is that I don't think we can make exceptions just because I've been fortunate to have certain teachers.
Well, I don't think anyone is talking about making it. We're just talking about cause and effect and how the world deal with things as opposed to the children of God. Like, that's why the children of God should not get caught up in the world's courts and things like that because they will destroy you. They hate good anyway. They will destroy you.
All right.
Yes, sir.
I have two things to say. As far as like punishment goes,
Hold on just a minute.
Thank you. As far as punishment goes, don't you feel that we don't have like the answer to people's, well, we know they need to forgive, but as far as punishment goes, don't you think that we like are too harsh when it comes to punishment?
That's why we
Shouldn't
need.
you offer somebody a solution, and then if, you know, because once the problem is solved, then you don't need to punish them because their behavior will change.
Yeah, that's why we need reasonable people running the courts and the government. When I hear Christians say that we should not be involved in government, that's a horrible mistake and a horrible way to think. Because if you're not involved in government, making these laws and enforcing them in the right way, then the children of Satan would take over the government and they will make laws that are not just. They will make laws to punish some that they like. Don't like, and then don't punish the one they agree with and like, right? Because the children of Satan are not going to punish their own any way they'll punish one of us.
And then I was at home, I was observing my thoughts, and I was like, okay, because I wanted to just go, I was like, now I want to go to each church and then just, you know, ask everybody if they forgive. But I also want to come here too. You know? So I came here.
Yeah.
But
if your thoughts tell you to go to another church and say that, don't do it. It's a setup.
Really?
Yeah. Because it's just going to make you go and make a fool of yourself.
Well, just call it out though, right?
But if God wants you to do it, it'll happen naturally. It wouldn't be any thought about it. You just find yourself doing it.
Oh, yeah, that's why I came here.
Yeah. But if Satan tells you to go to the church and tell the folks to forgive, right, do not do it.
No,
He will have you in the right place at the right time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he really will.
But shouldn't we be in the streets like protesting? Christians.
You been talking to Joel? Joel been trying to get us out there too. Shouldn't we be rallying? And you're right, we should be out rallying and doing things. We used to do a lot of it, but we've cut back a little bit, but now Joel is here. Lots of energy. We're going to start protesting, rallying more. You're right about that. So I'm glad you young people involved. I saw a report this week where, you know that coronavirus thing is out? A young boy, an Asian boy, I guess, at high school in Beverly Hills, Hollywood somewhere, is now suing the school with Gloria Allred because the boy was coughing. I don't have the entire story. I don't remember the whole thing. The boy was coughing in class. They sent him to the office, and now they're crying racism.
Oh, you drink some water or something like that?
Something happened, and now they're crying racism. I'm like, what the? They're saying that this is Asian discrimination. If you're Asian, you in my face coughing? But isn't there something, now you can't even send a sick kid out of the room because they're going to cry racism. You can't protect yourself. But that's the world, though. That's how they operate. They're confused. Satan is their daddy. And Gloria already holding this same press conference like this is a real deal. And she has to know that that's wrong. They did the right thing to send the boy out to class. I don't know if he was Chinese or eat rice or black people eating potato salad. I had some potato salad yesterday. It was so good. I almost forgot my religion. No, let me take this young lady and then Frankie. Okay. Does this make sense a little bit? Anybody disagree with it? Okay.
So this is interesting because I was coming here, I was listening to this video talking about guilt. And what it said about guilt, it was, okay, if you feel guilty, that's a process in your brain or in your body that it's functioning, like you're not a psychopath because you're aware in a way that you're doing something wrong, right? And I was like, oh, that's interesting. But then coming here, I had another realization that it was like, yeah, but sometimes you can feel guilty for things that you shouldn't be guilty. Like, for example, voting for Trump when you feel like he's doing something right, you know? Or because the society has put you on that level of thought.
Yep.
And it's not that you shouldn't be trusted because you're not a good person or whatever, it's just your mind, it's filled of just past, just environment in a way. That you can't trust that. So that lady couldn't help Jerry because she was just consumed by thoughts.
She judged him right away when he first started talking about it. He had not done anything.
Yeah.
He was just telling her what he was thinking about, right? Right away she judged him because we know good and evil now. With knowledge of it, and words will make you do that. That's why we had to overcome words. And had she been a decent woman and love was right, she would have gotten help for him, or she would have been able to point him as to how to overcome it before he gave completely to the enemy like that. And that's why, and so as far as going to the church talking about saving folk, you're supposed to just you will become a living example, and wherever you are, your light will be shining, and those who are seeking will see it, and then you'll be able to help.
Oh, so, because I ask everybody.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. Because everybody I come across now, I ask them, I'm like, have you forgiven your mother? I ask everybody. And it's crazy because it's like people, they don't see forgiveness as a tool.
Right, they don't. Well, that's all right if you ask them, but don't go to somebody in church and stand up or stand at the front door and ask everybody. But if you're out there in the world and you ask, you know what I'm saying? Because I saw a black guy at the gym the other day, and he just looked so unhappy. And so I asked him, how's your life on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being best? He said a 6. I said, really? I said, what would make it a 10? He paused and said, oh, I think if I can get a job, another job. And I said, no, that won't do it. I said, I asked, do you want me to tell you what would do it? You got to forgive your mama. And he's like, really? And he said, oh, I think about that. And he was black. You don't tell a black stranger you need to forgive your mama. You put your life on the line. You know what I'm saying? If he had said you need to forgive your daddy, it wouldn't have been a big deal. But not mama.
But you know, people, I've been in like 2 churches already, and they can't, like, my questions, they want me to leave after a while.
They want you to leave?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'll ask, do you support same-sex marriage?
Yeah, you make them uncomfortable with the truth. They're
Yeah,
not
so-
ready for it.
So, like, what does that, do I,
If they don't want to hear it, they say, okay, bye.
okay.
They're just not ready because they're not seeking what's
They
right.
got a question over there, though. Oh, I'm done.
You know what I'm saying? They're not ready, so you can't force it on them.
That's forcing me?
If they don't want to hear it, you're forcing it.
Oh.
You know, the only reason you heard the truth when you heard me is because you were ready for it.
True.
Only a few are going to find that straight and narrow path.
Oh, okay.
Only the seekers. Most people are going to suffer and die.
That's the truth, huh?
Yeah. You can't save the world.
Because I feel like my mom and my pops are children of the lie now.
Yeah. And they just have to suffer until they either wake up or they die. They're dying anyway. And there's nothing you can do about it but be a living example. If they ask you something, be honest, but don't force it. Because it's God who draws you unto him. We don't like go to God. He draws those unto him, and he knows who he want to bring back in. All right. Let me take here. Yes.
I grew up in the old days. I was born and raised Catholic, and so it was different. You talked to the priest about everything and anything. He came over your house for dinner, and you would talk to him about these things, but spiritual things. He was, in a way, responsible. He took it personally responsible for your soul. So he dealt with things like this.
So y'all didn't talk to your parents about it? I ain't never talked to no Baptist preacher about myself. I
grew
didn't
up
talk
Catholic.
to mama or daddy.
In the Catholic Church,
That's where y'all made the mistake.
It wasn't a mistake.
Where's the priest now? A liberal.
It's not that way anymore. And so it's a dangerous world. I mean, they putting Weinstein in jail. They put Cosby in jail.
That's why we got to rebuild men. Turn them back to God so they can lead the way.
You know, the world's kind of crazy right now. It's kind of scary.
The world is the Old Testament. It really is. Wait until you start living from the New Testament from within. You will see, wow, the world is still the Old Testament. Nothing has changed in the world. Christ has made a way for us to overcome the world. But the world is still the same. No wonder, didn't the Bible say God is coming back or something? I see why. And this time, does he supposed to be riding on a cloud?
Oh, don't tell me that's not true. It's precipitated. Not true? No.
He's already back. You found him. He brought you home. But I don't know if he's going to do it or not, but I see why he would have to come on a cloud. Let me do this with Christine. I want to ask you before you leave. How you doing? You look kind of like something's on your mind.
Happy Women's Day.
Today is Women's Day? What does that mean?
I don't know, but the woman at Whole Foods wanted to let me know.
The one that what?
I was at the Whole Foods buying a birthday cake for Adriana.
Right.
And the woman next to me was buying the same exact cake, and she had the cake maker put, Happy Women's Day on the
What
cake.
are they celebrating now? They got Mama's Day.
Because apparently they don't feel special enough.
Evidently.
Yeah.
What are they celebrating now?
But I just wanted to say, I knew where you were getting at with, asking about a child prostitute, and I knew that there was a connection to the transgender issue, and I was kind of just a little bit disappointed in some of the responses. I
know what it is. I want to tell you how this. Be careful not to get caught up with the world way of thinking about things, with all their words, because they have all these words that are very seductive, that feel like it's human, feel like you should have sympathy or feel sorry for this, right? And you'll find yourself agreeing with those words. A lot of people do that. But always have a little space there, no matter who is with, me or anyone, right? Have a little space to observe, then you'll know the truth. Let the words go in and out, because they use words to set you up. And if you're an emotional person, they got you. Because it's weird how they come up with all these words, but they use words to set you up. So don't fall for the words.
Well, I mean, it's also like what's going on, because my first thought was thinking about, how can we let children think that they can consent to sex.
Right.
But if a kid tells you, I want to be a boy or I want to be a girl, the blame isn't going to be put on them as an underage child who's willing to have sex. It's kind of, we view it differently, but that was, where my mind first went to, because gender dysmorphia is going through the roof.
See all
worldwide,
those
it
fancy
seems.
words. I don't even know what gender dysmorphia is. It sounds nice, but it doesn't make sense. If you have that space there, the world way will not make sense to you anymore, and you will see the right way. It will be revealed to you. But if you get caught up in it, whether it's with President Trump or anybody else who's running for office, I really like the president, I respect him, but I still have that space there. I don't want to get all into him that I lose sense of common sense, right? Because if something happened to him, then my thing will be gone. My ego is destroyed, right? But if I don't make him a king, meaning like my God, but appreciate the work, then you can, whatever men go through, that's on them, and you don't have to trip on it. You be aware and not be of it.
Right. I already see we put so much on children, and
Yeah.
things are set up against them. So to hold a child responsible for, seducing a man is kind of crazy. But I like that you bring this up. This is probably the first, or I don't know, maybe first time in some time that I've kind of been a bit triggered or find, like this is kind of like a spicy topic for me.
Yes.
So I'm glad that you brought it up.
A lot of people
important to
caught
think
up.
about
Y'all
that.
better watch. Y'all better pay attention. Really, don't get so excited about anything that you get caught up. Appreciate it. Enjoy life. Be grateful. Have fun. But don't get caught up. Don't get caught up. What's on your mind?
What's on my mind?
Yes. How's your life going and how you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. Honestly, what was on my mind? My knee just hurts.
Your knee hurts?
That's all it was.
You work out?
Yes, but I've had surgery on my knees, so.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, you into sports or something, right?
Yes.
What do you do?
What do I do now for sports, or what I did?
beforehand, yeah.
Oh, so like volleyball, basketball,
yeah.
track, softball.
So life is getting good. Are you doing the silent prayer?
No, I'm not.
Suffer. Why not?
I don't know, Jesse. Just haven't gone around to it, but that's no
Haven't
excuse.
gotten around to
I
it.
know, I
Isn't that
know.
amazing? Seek first the kingdom of God and his right way, and all will be added. Okay, but I just haven't gotten around to it. When you said first, you really didn't mean first. Right? He didn't mean first. It means like when you can get around to it. Why not put it first? Do you don't believe it'll work?
No, I don't know, Jesse, I don't know. I have no response for that, honestly.
Do you want to know yourself?
Yes.
Well, you should pay attention. That's what seeking is. Pay attention to self and be aware, and you'll be on your way. That's all it takes, really, to get to know yourself so your life can open up for you. It'll be amazing. And then all the stuff that you have to do, you still can take care of that, but don't put it first. What's wrong with waking up in the morning and having a 10-minute quiet time just to see what the Lord has for you? Just wake up. What's wrong with that?
Nothing's wrong with that.
Why don't you do that? Because you're so nice. I remember you at the meeting now.
Yes.
Why not do that, though?
I don't know. I should. So.
You don't care about being free?
It's not that. It's just, it wasn't no one's ever told me to, hey, you should do this in the morning. So I'll start doing that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you should do it, really. When you first wake up, open your eyes, look around, kind of come out of the sleep. You can go wash your face if you want, right? And then sit up for at least 5 or 10 minutes. Just be aware. Just watch those thoughts. And you're going to find yourself growing into that. And during the day, you're growing and growing and growing, and you'll find that as a way of life, and it'll be amazing. Because if you don't do it, you don't really see what's in front of you. You don't really see what's happening. So make sure you do the silent prayer.
Will do, yes.
All right?
Yes.
The first thing in the morning and the last thing before bed. And don't wait until you get tired.
Yes.
But, let's say you go to sleep around 9, 8:30, you can go and just have that little quiet time and get up and eat some potato chips and go to bed. Well, that makes sense?
Yes, it does. Thank
Any
you.
question for me?
At this moment, no
Okay.
question.
Make sure you do it. Are you doing it? Why you didn't tell her to do it? Let her have the mic.
I'm taking your advice and not really telling her anything. Just
But-
kind of stepping out and letting her come to her own decisions and conclusions about just about everything. I'm trying to
But-
really stay out of
But you
her.
made her aware of it at least, right?
Well,
That she should
I-
do the silent prayer?
Yes, I mean, I've said to her that I myself need to be consistent.
You're not
with
consistent
it.
with it either?
No, I'm trying more so, but when I have tried it, I am in my thoughts a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what God's trying to bring you out of.
Mhm.
Bring every thought into captivity, because as long as you're in your thought, you're not going to experience the kingdom of heaven on earth, right? So you want to come out of those thoughts. You're not your thought. And the fact that you can see that you're in them is the sign of coming out. But make sure she does it, or at least just tell her to do it. Well, leave her alone now. She knows. You know. All right. But make sure you do it too.
I will.
Because it's a spiritual battle. There's nothing we can do, but there's so much to see and so much to overcome. You'll be surprised what you have believed in. And that's why when you doubt every thought, you start to believe in the Father. There's nothing left but that. But you got to start doubting every thought about anything at any time.
Do you remember that I was telling you that I have a lot of fear and I, like get scared and like these spirits and, evil and I did what you told me to
What did I
call
tell you?
on. You said to call on the Lord, the Holy Spirit, and Jesus to just say, be with me and help me.
Oh, yeah, let's say
And
you're
I-
going through a rough situation,
Yeah.
like it gets so rough you can hardly bear it, and say, you know what, Jesus, help me. I'm having a rough time with this one, right? But you still got to do the silent prayer so that he could be with you at all times.
Yeah, during that time
Yeah.
of the silent prayer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, so
And
I'm
did
not
that
so
work?
scared. Yes,
Yeah.
it really did.
Well, as you're overcoming that anger, you would no longer be afraid. Because when anger is gone, there is no fear. You can't have both.
Thank you.
Anger, fear is a child. I think it may be the oldest daughter of anger. Once that's gone, you have perfect love, no fear is there, ever again. All right, so do the silent prayer. And you'll get past it. All right. How y'all doing? Where y'all been? They come in all late in the back. Where you been?
We didn't remember about the time changes.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
You didn't remember either?
Nope.
That's amazing. Well,
Shit.
welcome back.
Thank you.
How are things going?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
All is well.
Right on. Did y'all get married?
Not yet.
Why not?
So you would
On the
ask.
spot.
I don't know.
I don't know. You know he's not going to marry you until you make it happen, right? And you got to make it happen by getting away.
Yes. I know that, Jesse.
But why are you... Well, I don't get on y'all. Y'all just come back. Why are you selling for less? Well, you're the female. I know you want to be married, because women want to be married. They want family. Why are you selling for less? Or why are you still giving and not getting what you know is right? And just for the other women to know, too, for me.
I don't know, but it's something that I have been thinking a lot about lately.
Yeah.
I think it's something that it's almost like I guess I didn't want to see, and now I'm starting to see that. I think actually that you are right. I think that not until I move, he won't actually make a decision.
Right? He ain't going to marry you.
I
Why
know
marry the
that.
cow if you're getting it built free?
I actually know that.
And the
I
cow
have come
live
to
with
that
you, too.
realization now.
What you gonna marry the cow for the cow?
I ain't
Already in the
getting no
house.
milk for free.
You don't even have to go out to the barn to get the cow, right? The cow's right there.
And she's no cow either.
No work for the cow at all. You don't have to go out into the field, bring the cow up to the barn.
Well, we're not having
feed
sex,
the cow,
so
then milk the cow.
that's not something it's happening. So that's not happening.
But
It's
you
just-
still need to get away.
But we're still under the same roof, yes. And
He ain't gonna marry you long you're there.
Yeah, I think I'm coming
So
to
is
that
Satan telling you,
realization.
oh, you know
no,
what?
No, no, I'm
Do it
coming
this
to
way,
that
you gotta-
realization. I think, I think I'm battling myself a lot with that, with like just knowing that he's not gonna do it. And I think I've come to that. I think I've even said it to him, like,
And you may be missing out on your real husband being with the phony one. If it was meant for it to be, it would have already happened after all this time, right? So maybe you're with the wrong guy, and maybe he's with the wrong girl, because in that fallen state, we tend to get with the wrong people anyway, right?
Hold on,
So-
Jesse.
Oh.
Hold on now.
So you wish you could...
I thought we were supposed to wait 7 years. What happens to the 7 years?
Turn back the time and the clock, right?
See, he doesn't want to hear me.
But you're not supposed to be living together in 7 years.
Well, things happen.
But once you know better, then other things happen. Do you feel bad having her waiting like that, knowing you're not going to marry her? Do you feel anything about it? Be honest. Men don't wear the glasses on top of their head unless they're earnest.
Like we have talked about this a lot.
But do you feel bad in knowing that you're not going to marry this woman?
It's not that I feel bad.
You feel bad knowing you're not going to marry her?
I don't know that.
You don't know what?
That I'm not going to marry her.
Well, then, do you know you are going to marry her?
I want to.
Then why don't you? Ain't nothing in the way.
Because it's personal.
Personal? Well, you better move until he gets his personal stuff together. I don't understand it, ladies. I don't know why y'all made that. I understand it, but he ain't gonna do it if you don't. As someone mentioned, let him cross that line, then he'll do it. But if he cross the line, that's it. It really is. I just how to let you know that. Once the cow is living in your house, you know, when you talk about cows and milk. I mean, I'm just saying, I like both of you. Both of you are amazing people, right? But I know that she want to be married.
That's right.
And, yeah. And I know, so what now?
I said, yes, I do.
And he's not going to marry you doing it this way. It's not going to happen. Because he's going to have all kind of excuses. Y'all don't have any babies, there's nothing in the way. Right? So you got to make a decision.
I do, yeah. I do.
And if
You're
you-
absolutely right.
And if you make a decision that says, I'm going to live somewhere else, and he go and get with someone else, then you see it wasn't meant for you. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Welcome back, buddy. I'm glad to see you.
You're just mad at me for not being here for a while.
That's right.
You're like,
That's right. But anyway, you got to do the right thing. When you see the right thing to do, you got to do it. And one thing add to another. All right? Last word, and then we out of here. Yes, sir. Oh, hold on a minute.
Knowing that your mind is like the cause of like the world's like trouble as of today.
Yeah.
How come you don't think that Jesus really spoke on Satan talking to your mind specifically, like pinpointing that out?
He did.
Well, he did say like all your thoughts come into captivity, but
Yeah.
that's like one of the verses like out of all like things he was speaking about. Like I don't really remember or anything else he like mentioned about like your thoughts is like what causes you to do evil.
Well, when he said bring every imagination into captivity, that's what he was talking about.
And that's like, but my question is like he spoke of hell many times, but how come he haven't spoke about our thoughts, knowing that that's like the main cause?
You
I
mean
mean,
like
unless
what?
other people probably know his scriptures.
You know why he didn't put more emphasis on thought
Yes.
itself?
Yeah.
But he did when he talked about we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against spirits that's made a home with us, right? And principalities and things like that. He was talking about that when he said to forgive, because when you have that anger, you're controlled by that spirit within. It makes a home in your mind. And when he talked about my children shall know my voice, and that my voice is the voiceless voice, the knowing, right? As opposed to the voice in your head.
So he's saying all this in ways for us to know that when we like start realizing, we'll like know that it's really like
Absolutely, for the seekers. Because to some people, the language that we're speaking now is like speaking in tongues. They won't understand this. They don't believe it.
Right.
They don't, as the young man was saying there, they don't believe you have to forgive, just it's a way out. It sounds like foreign to them. It's like speaking in another tongue.
Yeah, right.
It's so simple that they can't comprehend it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? But what?
Is that judgment when you can't like when you look and you say, hey, you really don't get it? Is that judgment?
No, judgment is not when you say you really don't get it. It's when you hate them or get mad at them not getting it. Yeah, don't judge them for not getting it. They just can't see. All right?
And I have one last question.
Yes, sir.
So you believe the world has an agenda?
Absolutely,
right?
to destroy.
Satan has his own plan of what he wants to do.
Yeah,
with his
Satan
life.
rules the world.
Yeah, he does. He does.
Yeah.
And I believe,
his agenda is to rob, steal, and kill.
Yeah.
To destroy.
And I believe there's going to be one world government
You
sooner
do?
or later. Yeah, like all nations going to come together and just like try to like, because everything's about power and control at the end of the day.
Well, they
But-
definitely want that, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But for the children of God, you won't be affected by it if you truly been born again.
Yeah.
So
But
make
that
sure
wa-
not to get the hand
So that was
stabbed.
my point. My point is,
On
my
the
question
forehead
is,
somewhere, right?
my question is about Donald Trump and like recently like watching his conferences and everything like that. I agree with everything you were saying about him, but my question is like throughout presidency, like starting from George Washington, knowing that he's been a Freemason, I'm thinking that every president is like in the same like boat. You don't think so? Like it's set up in a ways. Like,
I don't know.
They all could
I
be
hear rumors
working.
and things like that, but I don't know, so I just hear it and let it go in one and out the other one. Because I can't believe it. I just hear it, but I don't hold on to it because the world lie about everything.
Right.
And they make up stirs and they pull you in and they control you with it, right? So it's best that if you hear it, just let it go in one and out the other
Yeah.
one. Don't believe it or doubt it, just let it pass.
And he
Then
is
you
like
shall
the
know
first
truth.
president to be speaking about this anyways.
I'm sorry?
He is like the first president. I was thinking like he could be under like no control, man. He's speaking his mind and they're letting
Right.
him doing that purposely because they know that
Well,
like,
he
everybody's
definitely
going
speaks
to
his
hate him.
mind, they hate him for it.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you're controlled by someone, you can't speak your mind.
Yeah.
Someone or something.
Yeah, true.
Absolutely. Last word, then we got to say goodbye. Yes, sir.
Thank you for the show. There's so much great topics here all at once, but referring back to the Asian kid at the school,
yes,
he's beta because, of mere fact, what you were saying, there's more to it. He's bringing his mama involved on it to contact that attorney because she's an anchor woman. So of course they're
She's
gonna
an anchor baby?
She's an anchor woman. She's in the news.
Oh.
So that's why they're going to destroy the school system.
He's a little kid in school, right? It's the adults who have brainwashed him first to believe that kind of stuff. But it's the parents who allowed it to happen. If his parents said, no, this is not discrimination, not racist, whatever they're saying, you may have the virus or you may have a cold, they did right to send you out of the classroom, it wouldn't have been a big deal. But they're leading this boy. This boy was reading a press conference paper that was laid out for him, it seemed. So he's wrong, but you can't blame him. The parents are the one doing it. He's a young kid.
Well, yeah, because the mom's in the news, so of course the media, she's going to use that as a escape
It's
to,
the world,
to
man.
bring down the school.
Yeah, it's bad. Anyway, yes, James.
I need to read the super chats.
Real fast. Hold his mic for him, Esteban. You look like Esteban. You're Mexican.
Black Salad gave a super chat from Australia. He said, Eve knew it was wrong before she ate the fruit. Mari Ubaldo, God bless you guys. Eric Harris, what do I forgive my parents for? Surlo Media, prostitution was the first job in the world. Malkuth X, after hearing these soft positions, I don't want to hear any Christians hating on the Islam guy marrying a 9-year-old. Hypocrites like a mug. Hot Computer Smell, what's Jesse's take on police sexual predator sting operations?
See, all that language is the world language. It's so like the world, right? Christians have nobody to communicate like that. When you communicate with them with those words, they're drawing you in. You're controlled by words. You have to keep it normal and real. Keep it real. Yes.
Columns L, no one is a victim until they make themselves one. Jimmy Morgan, do we have free will? No, we are influenced by good or evil. A.J. Samuel Bashkar says, God bless JLP congregation. Happy fellowship. Ola from Atlanta. DNYG Mamma Mia service. J Rock, thank you. Malkuth X, Jesse, would you date a Maxine Waters or a Tulsi Gabbard?
That's funny, huh? Let me think about it.
Malkuth X, Cali will be the first state to make pedophilia legal. Captain Mike, Jesse, I always like your smart casual attire.
Thank you.
You should start a men's fashion line and call it Amazing Man.
Oh, amazing. Yeah.
Giovanni A. Blessed is the man that maketh the Lord his trust and respecteth not the proud, nor such as turn aside to lies. Psalm 44. Amazing.
Yeah.
Malkuth X. Jesse, you did the same thing to Joel and Boo Boo. Listen to Julian. Listen to Julian says, Matthew 6:25, take no thought for your life. Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you all very much. I do appreciate it. You have your hand up there?
Yeah.
What do you want?
No, I just say it's
You
Adrian.
black?
It's Adrian's birthday, and Christina brought
Oh,
some
wait.
cake for her.
Oh, okay.
So just FYI.
It's Christina's birthday?
No, Adrian.
Oh, Adrian's birthday. How old are you today?
It's actually Tuesday. I'm gonna be old. 40.
Oh, this coming Tuesday?
Yeah.
How old will you be if you live?
If I live, 41.
Oh, amazing. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Right on. We're going to sing happy birthday in a minute. Yeah, we'll do the birthday song in a minute. But don't forget, folks, you got to do the silent prayer so you can come out of your imagination. You're driven by spirits. There's cause and effect for everything, and all the cause of our effects are spiritual. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against spirits and principalities. You must be born again into the spirit, all right? You must be, because you are a spirit. So make sure you do the silent prayer. After a while, you don't need the video for it, silentprayer.video. You'll see. You'll just be aware that one thing will lead to another one. And thank you so much for your support. And we will be announcing the anniversary celebrates soon.
Yeah, next week we'll announce it.
Next week we will announce it. And no meeting this week, right? Okay, no meeting this week. Amazing men's meeting. 47 guys showed up. The circle was around the room. Isn't that amazing? It was mind-blowing. And so thank you all so much, and I'll see you on the radio tomorrow. Have a good one. And thank you all, too. I appreciate it.